Okay, one final thing in terms of the avant-garde that you're participating in. I mean, I still am so interested in the gender issues in your film, but on the avant-garde side, there, Foyard in his Le Vampire film had characters named Venomous and Satanus, and here you have Flawless Sabrina, and so it seems as if that nomenclature as well and naming as costume seems to be a constant in the avant-garde. Robert Wilson's work is filled with stuff like this: the bird lady and the owl lady, and the so on and so forth. What do you think about that? I mean, it seems like what's new, is also old, and Flawless Sabrina is such a great name, but so is Venomous, and they're very descriptive. You don't have to think too much about what they mean. What are names?
That's so funny. I didn't really, I never did. I tried really hard, and I could never find an alter ego or a persona that I could inhabit on a regular basis. I think it's a real commitment to both costume and performance. It's a commitment to performance, to live as Flawless Sabrina. And I'm just not that committed to performance in my personal life. Mm-hmm. But I really didn't think about the nomenclature, but that's of course all there and really interesting. I do often think about the idea of names and how similar, do people act a similar way because they have the same name? Do names define you, or do you define the name? And is it something that's about the symbolic meaning of the name, or is it actually something physical in the way the name is spoken that affects who you are? Michelle, for instance, has this at the end of it. Does that make anyone named Michelle behave in a certain way? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think as far as the research I've done, there hasn't really been any sort of definitive answers to this. But nomenclature is very important. And in fact, in Dorian, Sybil, who was actually named Sybil. Sybil is a character that is the woman Dorian falls in love with at the beginning of the novel. And her name was Sybil Vane. And as I started to do some research, I realized that Sibyls were also these Greek characters, that were in between being human and gods. And that they were... they had been condemned to this neither region where they were neither a god nor a human, but they existed only as voices, and that they had lost their power to communicate. They had lost their power to be present in the world, could only be a voice. And that totally connected to my character of Sybil as well, because she became this voice throughout the piece. And So I changed the spelling of her name to match the spelling of the Greek Sybil, as opposed to the British Sybil that Oscar Wilde had. And Lord Henry, who's also the lead character in Picture of Dorian Gray, I changed my character just to be named Lord H, as a reference to heroin as well, because Dorian is smoking heroin within the piece later on. So...
well, I think it hits at the core of identity issues and other things that you're very interested in.